So we're here at the 2A Ranch today with Mr. Doug Giles. He is the true Renaissance man, and he is out here today with his family and friends and all of the people that are coming out to meet him. We're going to listen to what he has to say about a few things, and we're going to admire his art and his writings. He's an author and a fine artist. He is a righteous, rowdy man, and I'm a big fan. So we've got him here, and I want to hear what you got to say.
Debbie, thanks for having me at the Second Amendment. Is it Second Amendment?
It's 2A Ranch.
So cut.
It's okay. It's for the Second Amendment.
Debbie, thanks for having me at the 2A Ranch. Listen, folks, if you hadn't been out here to Ormond Beach, to Debbie's Enclave, it is a God and country wonderland. I mean, I love this place. I could live here. I don't know how my wife would feel about that, but it is a very cool place. That's Debbie, if you like our founding documents, if you like the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, what else? Oh, the Constitution. It's like I said, it's a Christmas wonderland. It's like Cabela's if you're a dude, or Victoria's Secret if you're a girl. You know, it's a very, very cool place. Thanks for having me out.
I'm so glad you could make it. I'm glad you had the time. I mean, you're up there #1 with your book. What would Jesus vote for Trump?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Me and my co-author Brandon Valerani, we came up with the idea this time last year, and we cobbled it together. We finished the manuscript and handed it in on a very apropos day, Debbie, April Fool's Day. And we didn't know where it would go. And Donald Jr. right now is #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list with his book Triggered. We hit #1 on Amazon for the first 4 weeks of its release. It stayed in the 1 to 10 for 3 months, and we put it in Public Affairs and Administration. And it's a funny, uproarious book that really digs into serious issues. So, people say, man, Jesus wouldn't vote for Trump. Trump's a scallywag. He's got a bad past. He does mean tweets, and Jesus would never endorse anybody like that. So we take his person and his policies, and we trace them through the sieve of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You know what we found, Debbie? We found that if you like the Christian worldview implemented from a policy standpoint in our nation's affairs, then we deduced from scouring the scripture that Donald Trump, well, he's the Christian's best buddy.
I would agree with that. Yeah, he's certainly, from my perspective, has been a godsend for the last 3 years. I'm able to actually think thoughts without worrying if I'm going to trigger somebody, or they're going to have to find a safe space, or they're going to melt down in my presence because I've got a Trump hat on, or something like that. So it's nice to be able to say what's really on your mind.
Well, I think one of the coolest things that Trump has brought to the table in this politically correct milieu is that you can be bold and forthright for truth. You can speak out against lies, hype, and spin, and people will whine, they'll cry, they'll protest, they'll stamp their feet, but you'll also see a mighty rejoicing chorus come from the flyover states, where people who finally have a president that represents their values, that represents their love for country, their traditional values, 10 Commandments, Constitution, boom. They still love this great American experiment in self-governance. And I think, Debbie, you made a great point. I always make this point everywhere I go, is that Reagan had trickle-down economics. Donald Trump has trickle-down testicular fortitude. He showed people, nearly single-handedly, how to be a ballsy leader that doesn't take any crap from CNN or Nancy Pelosi or occasional Cortex or any of the other of these clowns. That if he is right in regards to truth, if he's right in regards to governance, then he steps forth, steps in it, and he's bold. And that boldness transfers to you. You can see that boldness transfers to Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell. It's like, boom, all of a sudden they grow a pair. It's like, whoa, where'd that come from? I tell you where it came from. It came from great leadership. That's what I think, aside from the economic stuff that Trump has done for minorities, for women, the appointment of judges and lower court appointments, a lot of those were women. You know, it's not bad for a racist and a sexist and a homophobe. You know, it's just, I think it's wonderful. I think it's almost biblical how God picks somebody that nobody would think deserves the kind of leadership mantle that Trump has. He goes, boom, here we go, and it upsets the left and the right. And like you said, just the boldness, just the forthrightness that comes to you and we the people, just through somebody just showing, look, you don't have to be an ass-kissing politician.
Right.
You can go up there and you can govern. He doesn't take a check. He takes constant ridicule, and the nation keeps clipping along at a very powerful rate. My thing, I was talking to my buddy Tracy this afternoon, it's like, what is going to go down when he's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but God propped us up.
Well, he was roundly mocked and universally vilified. People just thought it was hilarious that he would even try. I mean, when I watch those cuts where they just keep cutting, like CNN and MSNBC and all these people, he'll never be president. And I think that it just drives them a little bit crazy.
I think it drives them over the cliff crazy.
Yeah.
I think they're blinded with Trump derangement syndrome. That's what the impeachment crap's all about. You know, Donald trounced Hillary like a narc at a biker party, and they still haven't gotten over that.
Yeah.
And so their whole thing, they're a do-nothing Congress, no legislation, they ain't helping anybody. All the stuff that they're talking about, all those gang of 20 fools that are actually going to have the nerve to take him on in this election cycle, and I can't wait to see these debates because they're all going to be juicy. They have no answers. So it's orange man bad, and then it's impeach, impeach, impeach. And I think they're going to fall on their own sword. I think the gallows that they're trying to erect for Trump, just like Haman did for Mordecai, they're going to find themselves swinging on it. Because here's what's happening, is that the people are paying attention.
Right.
How the left is acting. And I've got a lot of buddies that are apolitical. They're like, I don't really want to be a Republican and wear a blue jacket and a red tie and khaki stretch pants. And I don't really understand all it means to be a Republican. But I understand that those Democrats right now, they booed God. They're nuttier than a squirrel turd. Nancy Pelosi is so batty, she sleeps upside down. I don't know what occasional cortex is talking about, but it smells like Venezuela catastrophic socialism.
It does.
So we're not going to really come out with our vocal support of Donald Trump, but we're going to turn our little happy family magic bus to the right. And I think we're going to see a big shift.
That's why.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary might have won the popular vote, suspect, California.
Virginia.
I think Trump's going to red wave it, baby. I think Trump's going to red wave it. And you got the painting.
To prove it.
A beautiful, glorious painting.
It's a fantastic painting. It's one of my faves. I love all of them, though. And I have to say that everyone will speak to me in a little bit different way each time I look at it. And that's powerful. It's very powerful.
These paintings, and maybe the producer can slide some of them in later in post, but these paintings that you own the originals of, Debbie does not buy prints, she buys originals. And the prints have sold out the wazoo.
Yeah.
They're iconic from a cultural standpoint. I know I painted them, but I think that when we look back, like we were talking at lunch, that we look back at the phenom of Donald Trump, that these things, just like great political artwork back in the day, whatever side of the aisle that you're on, I think they're going to be amazing. They're funny to look at, and you can tell that I was inspired greatly by Mad Magazine growing up, and more Drucker's lambasting of his subject matter. Now, I didn't lambaste Trump. I just used the comedic aspect of Trump kicking ass, Trump surfing on a red wave, and he's got the Trump Punisher.
Well, it's that irreverence, the irreverence for and that here again, that's another thing driving the establishment crazy, is that he doesn't care what they think. He's going directly to the American people, and the American people are listening to him.
Right.
They are truly listening, despite what the lamestream media might want us to believe.
Yeah.
People are listening.
And Trump is playing those clowns like a drum. Every time they're like, "Aha, we got you," he's like, step into my lair," said the spider to the fly.
let him come in.
He's playing four-dimensional chess, and they're like, and he's already got them, you know, hog-tied, and he's on to the next thriller, you know. So I love it because he's not your typical staid politician. He doesn't like, where's the wind blowing? He's not George W. Bush, you know, playing kissy and sharing candies with Michelle Obama. He's like, this stinks, this sucks, this is wrong, we're out, you know.
Yeah.
And he keeps his word. Everybody's like, you know, when Donald Trump becomes president, he's going to be flip-flopping divvy all over the place. He's going to convert to a Democrat. He's going to kill babies. You know, he's going to destroy the ocean levels. And no, he didn't. And the Heritage Foundation, they have kind of like a conservative scorecard. They like got 300 plus things, like do this, and we give you a thumbs up. He's ahead of Ronald Reagan at this juncture in his presidency. And if he didn't have the name Donald Trump, and he would be praised more so, even though we're giving him a lot of credit, a lot of props for what he's done. But you'd get the Never Trumpkins on the right, that if he wasn't Trump and he wasn't such an embarrassment to them and their wrong prognostications during the 2016 election, I think America would not be just giving him a golf clap. I think they'd be standing on their damn feet giving him a standing ovation, because he's done remarkably well for our country and our culture.
I mean, have you been watching the rallies? I mean, they've got, people stood here in Orlando for 2 days in the rain. In the rain.
They ain't doing that for Elizabeth Warren.
No, or Joe Biden, who doesn't know where the front of the stage is.
Hey, we got more people right here, and we haven't even opened the doors yet, than a Biden rally or Elizabeth Warren rally. And they're busting those people in. SEIU's like, all right, get all your union workers, put their ass on the bus, get them in that purple and yellow t-shirt, and have them go stand up front and clap. And nobody does it. I was stem whining right there. And that's without any alcohol.